Kelsie is in Lakeview this morning. Kelsie, you're cold. What are you up to, girl?
Hello! What a great idea, taking me outside this morning. I'm standing in front of the Biograph right now with my new best friend Sheila, who is going to give me a super tour of the town.
Super tour.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a sneak peek of a really awesome tour called the Chicago Crime Tours. We talk all about Chicago mobsters. It's really focusing in on the Prohibition era, right, of Chicago history. But right here was where John Dillinger was shot on July 22nd, 1934.
Yeah, we're going to have more with Sheila when we come back.
And Kelsie continues out in Lakeview learning about the Chicago Crime Tour. Hey, Kels.
Hey guys, you know what? I'm still here with Sheila. We're actually en route at the moment. Now, Sheila, what's happening with this tour right now? My VIP tour.
Yeah, your VIP tour. You're basically taking like the route that we normally take. We start downtown Chicago, we make our way up to the north side into Lincoln Park, and then we go back downtown. But the coolest thing is just under 2 hours. We go all over the city. I like to say an hour and a half to an hour and 45, depending on traffic, right? Chicago's second biggest crime.
Up top.
Oh yeah.
Bits. She's got bits, you guys.
But it's just really great. It's a 2-hour tour. It's a very particular viewpoint to like see the city, right? But it's such a rich history, and you might be walking past something, you have no idea what might have happened there, you know, and it's cool recent history. I get people on my tour all the time. My dad lived on the south side. He lived in the 8th Ward, right around from Al Capone, or my mom was there the night John Dillinger got shot, which is a true story.
Wow.
I had a guy on my tour a couple weeks back who his mom was there that night. I mean, just really cool stuff, and we get the amazing opportunity to show you a lot of it in just 2 hours. It's awesome.
Coming back, so much more with Sheila. You're amazing.
Absolutely.
Right after the break.
Girl
No one
is
would ever do that.
a physics. What does she got? Physics formula, chest tattoo.
She got her out of the car. Hey, stop. These tours are so cool.
Yeah, we have some great tours in Chicago.
There's a pizza tour.
I'm glad I'm not walking around though this morning doing it. All right, time for us to check back in with Kelsie, who is studying up on Chicago crime. Hey, Kelsie.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Hey, hello. We are out here. We have got... Hi! I got very excited. I can't help it. Me and Sheila are best friends in the cold. So Sheila, break it down. We're walking by this, it looks like nothing. This is a massive history here in Chicago at this spot right now.
You might not have even known it, but back in 1929, the height of the beer wars happened right here. The site of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, the old SMC cartage company.
Right behind us, right?
Right behind us. All that's left of the building, you can actually see a little tar line on the brick wall that's behind us here. They tore down that building, the original Mayor Daley, the Uno, tore it down.
I like that you call him Uno.
The Uno. He said we shouldn't be idolizing these guys, which he's not entirely wrong, but unfortunately we're still here several times a day.
Yeah.
You know, we're still on the tour, sorry, sir.
But you also said that that's actually, someone did take pieces of that. What's the Chicago history of that?
They tore down the building, and actually they tore down the brick wall where everyone got shot at the back of the building. They tore it down brick by brick, and they remounted it at the Mobster Museum out in Las Vegas. That tells you what happens in Chicago. It actually stays in Vegas.
You got so many bits.
I'm on it.
And then you're also saying over here by the Chicago Pizza Grinder, also something else.
Obviously a huge Chicago landmark, the Chicago Pizza Grinder. I know people go there every day, but just next door, 2119, that was actually the building that used to be the boarding house where Al Capone actually stationed his guys that morning. So there was 4 South Side gang members. They were in that building watching the movements of the SMC Cartage Company across the street. The meeting that was meant to have George Bugs Moran and all his first and second lieutenants was meant to start at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So they had a perfect viewpoint from the windows. They walked over. 2 went in the back dressed as civilians. The 2 went in from the front door dressed as Chicago police officers. They fooled the North Side gang, and they literally took the sawed-off shotguns from the guys coming in the back and mowed down the 7 gentlemen on the inside.
Yeah.
I mean, literally the height of the bloodshed of the beer wars.
Yeah, I mean, there is a plethora of information under this cap.
Fully.
Fully.
Like in 2 hours, we got plenty of time to talk about
we've got more. Back to you in the studio. I'm learning lots.
And Kelsie checking out a unique way to see the city. She's in the car right now. Hey, Kelsie.
Hey, I am here with Sheila. We are getting the old private Chicago crime tour. Now, even driving to our next location, Sheila, you have so many facts. Give us 3.
Just pointing out the window. So we saw the location of the first incident of the Tylenol murders, where that came out of. We saw the old gallows, and we saw the old Cook County Courthouse and jailhouse.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just a couple blocks. You guys, there's so much knowledge. I can't wait to share it with you. Well, Sheila's sharing most of it.
Yeah.
More when we come back. Good morning, good morning. I am still learning lots on the Chicago Crime Tour here with Sheila, but it's not just a crime tour. You got some architecture knowledge.
Some great architecture knowledge. So we're at a really cool spot right now. Across the street from us here, we've got the Jewelers Building, completed in 1926. It had a really cool elevator for security, and Al Capone loved security, so he says we should make that 360 dome at the top a speakeasy. They call it the Stratosphere Lounge. The other one I want to show you is across the street, green building with the golden top, completed in 1928, the height of Prohibition. At the time it was completed, it was the very front of our skyline. We basically put a giant champagne bottle on the front of our skyline, so it wasn't just a part of our history. I mean, it was part of the fabric of Chicago. I mean, it was, everybody was into it. I mean, we were even making buildings about
so it was
it.
against the law, but we're like, hey, here's a building.
Our mayor at the time was quoted as saying, we are wetter than the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh my gosh. More info from Sheila after the break.
A plate. He needs a napkin.
Come on, let's go.
Don't be shy now, John. There we go. Let's see how Kelsie is finishing up her private tour. Hey, Kelsie.
Hello, hello. We are at the final stop here, and we're gonna end it with a little myth busted, right, Sheila?
Yeah, we're gonna finish with the myth bust. This is a really hot spot for Chicago history. So we had two huge hits for the beer wars happen right here.
And where are we?
So right now we're at the corner of State and Superior. So we're right in front of Holy Name Cathedral. Across the street from here, where there's a lovely construction happening, is where the old Schofield's Flower Shop used to stand, and that's where the Northside Gang ran their operations out of. So in 1924, Dino Banny was the first major hit. He gets the old Chicago handshake. That's where you shake a guy's hand, pull him in close, and then shoot him in the gut with the free hand.
Look at that mime work.
Anyway, so he gets shot, he goes down, and then Jaime Weiss takes over. About 2 years later, 1926, Al Capone stations a few guys in a boarding house just a few doors to the north of the old Schofield's Flower Shop. They watch Jaime for a full week. Jaime's jaywalking in front of Holy Name Cathedral.
Right here, right? So he's walking right here?
Jaywalking right in front of the church right here, which he was a creature of habit. He would always park on Superior and jaywalk in front of the church to go into the flower shop. And so he does that on the 7th day. He gets shot 10 times from the windows of the boarding house with sawed-off shotguns and Tommy guns. Now, some damage did go into this church, which that type of artillery is just shrapnel, right?
Right.
So huge craters of damage on this type of stone.
So the myth. Let's talk about the myth.
Is that this hole over here on the pillar is actually damaged from the shootout that day. Now, I hate to tell you, you would have to have a sniper rifle to get a hole like that on this type of stone. It's not a ghost story, and you might not be my friend when it's over, but what actually happened was a metal rod used to stick out of there and hold the hours for the church on a sign, and they got a new sign, so they just sawed off the metal rod, and that's it. That's the whole story. I know.
Sometimes the truth hurts, you guys.
Truth hurts, but if you enjoyed it, if you want to know more about it, come and see us. I mean, we're running every day of the week. We're on the weekends, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool way to see the city. And
Sheila, you've been amazing. I appreciate it so much.
It's been so much fun.
So much fun. Back to you guys in the studio.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelsie.
So cool. I love those things.
Yeah, all this talk about crime and violence makes you worried why you have a meatball spear in your hand there, Amy.